We can do it tomorrow also because this is not the right
This is
thing.
hmm?
Means if you see there is any problem with that, we can do it tomorrow at the same time. And
No, no, no. There was a confusion on the banner itself, but the real banner on the platforms was at 7:30 on 7 o'clock only.
okay,
But banner for us it shows as 8:30. Anyway, we are live now, so we can take this forward. So
sure.
yeah. Hi everyone, this is Surya. Thanks for joining in. Today we have a really good again one more session. Last three sessions last week was went really well, and we're also republishing the content on the different topics. My intent is very clear. I wanted to bring the topics on Web3 and blockchain and technology, especially on the real use cases basis rather than hype. So the motto is very simple: from hype to real. So I this was coined by one of our known network. I was really impressed by that word, so we wanted to take that and provide more insights on this segment. I'm trying my best to add thoughts, bringing experts in the industry right from India to other countries as well. Today we have Sachin Kumar, a founder at the Jumbo Chain. It's one of a well-known blockchain protocol in India that's specifically working for startups and small medium companies to solve their trusted issues, to solve their transparency and especially the audit systems. Welcome to our show, Sachin. Uh, Hi,
Thank
Sachin.
you. Hi, Surya. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for
So,
joining our session, Sachin. Go on.
okay. So before we get into the detail of the our conversation, so let me give my background.
Yes, please.
So I have 19 plus years of experience in IT, specifically into the supply chain and the supply chain consulting. That is one of my core. I am
Mm,
LM from Indian School of Business. Uh, I entered into this space around more than 2 years back, but I did my first certification on Hyperledger in 2016 while I was
mhm,
working with IBM.
mm,
So that is my little bit background, and now we are building a layer one protocol, which is the Jumbo
mm,
blockchain, and
mm,
we have done plenty of innovation to achieve certain things because we wanted that the blockchain as technology has to be used for the industry or enterprise use cases like supply
yeah.
chain and all. But adoption, sorry, adoption is taking time because of the cost which is involved. So we worked in that direction. We applied three patents in India,
Mm,
and we have taken the PCT across the globe. And our testnet is live now. People can check on the jumbochain.org, and they
mm,
can find out the blockchain and the testnet. And it is going well so far.
mm.
We
So
scheduled.
how many months back it was released as a testnet and a mainnet?
Okay, so it took hell lot of time in the basic preparation. Okay, so
Mm,
basic
mm,
preparation is to come to our patent basically,
mm,
and we read my team read almost 400 and more than 400 research papers to solve
mm,
certain issues. One of them is the uh, costing. Basically, if you
mm.
will do the transaction on Ethereum, it will cost you like few dollars or
Yes,
one
as
more
a
than
as a gas fee. Mm,
as a gas fee to solve
mm,
that. The second was the throughput. Throughput is one of
mm,
the big challenge in
mm,
blockchain. Right now, the TPS is not more than 60,000
mm,
for any of the fastest blockchain right now they are talking about. But
mm.
as of now, whatever we are doing is we are expecting it will go to the million transactions per second.
Per second. So this
Yes.
was, I think, one of our hot topic, and in fact, kind of controversy topic when it comes to
Okay.
discussing in front of bureaucrats on fintech segments. they've always highlight this throughput issue. They've been always cross compared with the existing systems so how do you differentiate that even though the jumbo chain aim to run these transactions, million
I'll
transactions
tell
in a
you.
second. Yeah.
I'll tell you. Sorry, I'm interrupting you because I'm not able to stop myself. We are talking on the StreamYard. Yeah, there is a
Yes,
data
yes,
transaction which is going on, and
yes.
this is almost real time,
Mm,
right? If like
yep.
Zoom or any other call, there are thousands of people who can
Mm,
join the platform basically.
mm,
And when they talk, the data transfer is happening real time, right?
mm,
Data is data, right? Either it's
yes.
the voice data or the data which comes into a particular format, right?
Mm,
How blockchain, what does blockchain do? Blockchain is store data only, right?
yeah.
That comes from the through the smart contract and audited by the validators. This is
Validators.
how
Mm,
the whole concept of layer 1 protocols work.
yes.
So now what we need to improve, we need to improve only two things. The auditing process should take very less time.
Mm,
That is one thing. It should be
mm,
not more than 90 millisecond or 100 millisecond to generation of the block. The
mm,
second issue is the data distribution, basically.
mm, mm,
In decentralized system, data goes to all the auditors who are there. Even
mm,
though validating is happening by the 15 or 20 or 21, well, by the 21 validators.
correct.
Okay. So that is what we have already solved. Now technical implementation is going on for that, and it will come on the 27th of December, the
Mm,
third
mm,
iteration.
mm. Okay.
And this is something which will be a game changer. If you want to scale the throughput of your blockchain, you just need to add a few more validators in the process, in the network,
Mm,
and the
mm,
scalability will be multifold.
mm.
That is what is the differentiation which we have made.
And that's what exactly you wanted to, or you made already a copyrights, IP rights
Yeah,
on that.
yeah,
Mm,
yes, a copyright for that. The third
mm,
innovation which we have done in that direction is a smart contract based private network setup, which will be
mm.
having the capability of the layer one itself. So,
So, can you elaborate how this works?
okay, so you write a simple smart contract as an
Correct.
organization. You want to set
Mm,
up a process, so say a network for your private processes like your
okay.
financials data or your
Mm,
some contract which are very confidential. So you do
mm,
not want
mm,
to push that data to the layer one or public blockchain basically, or to
mm.
the public validator. You want to keep it between the parties. So
Got it.
in layer one itself, you will write a parent contract, and that
Mm,
parent contract will be giving the executable files which will go to the nodes who has to be the
mm,
part of that particular network. And until
mm,
and unless a certain data will not match, nobody can
mm,
execute those files to be a validator.
mm,
Okay. And now for your processes, you will write a child smart contract. So your child
mm,
smart, whenever your process trigger, child smart contract will execute,
mm.
and then the data will save on the private network, and information will go to the public network also that there is some kind of data which has come in and saved in the private network.
Okay.
So it
So,
gives
when can we cross compare this with between a jumbo chain is between the private networks and the public networks as a hybrid network?
not high, we cannot say it's a pure public blockchain, but it has
Okay.
functionality to set up
But
the private.
having a capabilities and functionalities
Yes, yes.
to
See, there is
yeah.
a simple philosophy behind it. Actually, the
Mm,
philosophy is if somebody is using Jumbo blockchain for their
mm-hmm,
process, which they can share the data publicly,
mm,
and tomorrow they come to the new use case where they want to have the data in a private network only. Then
correct.
they have to
Correct.
go out look for the Hyperledger or any other blockchain, right?
Mm, mm,
But if the same functionality with the minimum time, like in 2 to 3 hours, you can set up your private network.
okay. Okay.
So you
Okay.
don't need to go anywhere.
Mm,
And the fourth innovation, because okay, fourth I will talk about when we will talk about the real world asset
use
tokenization of.
cases. Yeah. Mm.
Yes, I'll talk about that.
So, before jumping on to very detailed level subject on how these ownerships works on blockchain, using example the best layer as jumbo chain, we do even though we do have Indian L1, L2 layers, and outside L1, L2 layers also. But before that, so if we observe your expertise on this segment and this entire segment, you've been spent more than close to, I think, maybe 9 years, 10 years in IBM,
No,
and
yeah,
previously you spent on Infosys as well, right
yes.
from consultant to the lead board, leaders board. So what is that one thing that made you shift into Web3, even though your kind of entire career is into corporate, especially the big players like
Mm.
Infosys, so or IBM. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
And thank you for asking this. This is quite personal thing actually, which has happened
yeah,
in my life, and that's how it has happened. So, okay, let me explain it to you. I spent 20 years in a village.
yeah. Mm,
I'm the first engineer from my village.
mm,
But see, back of the mind, there was a over a period of time. It was my thought process that I have to do something on my own.
mm,
I never realized what has to be done actually. And then
mm,
in 2019, I realized if I want to start something, then I have to have certain knowledge. So
mm,
I went to ISB for PGP Max, my post graduation.
mm, mm,
And then after that, I came back and I started one venture in Center of Diabetes,
mm,
basically diabetic care,
mm,
which was the brick and mortar model for diabetes and the
mm.
uh, diabetes related disease, basically. So it's a chronic
Yeah.
disease. So
Mm,
we thought to have a SOP, standard operating procedure, and with the related disease also. But again,
mm.
COVID came in. In second of wave of the COVID, I lost one of my brother because of the counterfeit medicines.
Oh, okay.
And from there, because my experience was in supply chain completely, and I have done the research, but there were projects, but not they were not able to implement basically.
Mm,
Supply chain
mm.
monitoring with IoT devices, supply chain monitoring with something else, but counterfeiting was not addressed.
Okay.
That
Mm,
started doing addressed like later on. So I thought that I have so much experience in that direction. Let me
mm,
start to build a product which
mm.
can be around the immutability can be one of the important
Core,
aspect,
core, yeah, core
core aspect,
concept in supply chain
and
systems.
it
Yeah.
can monitor the entire supply chain, and a user and consumer can identify the product is genuine or counterfeit by the
The
mobile camera.
authenticity of the product. Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
yeah, by mobile camera scan.
mm,
No
mm,
application has to be downloaded by.
mm,
Okay, so that was the base when we started. But when we did the financial due diligence and the due diligence from the cost perspective, that
mm,
if we want to build a solution which should be industry agnostic, so means the
mm.
same solution you can apply for the Louis Vuitton, and same
Yep.
solution you can apply for the Haldiram Bhujia also.
Mm, mm.
Haldiram Bhujia cost you 5 to 10 rupees, and
Correct. Mm,
Louis Vuitton is like, maybe $500, $1,000 worth stuff,
mm,
right? So when we did the due diligence, we identify, okay, it will not work.
mm,
Costing is so high. If we will use any of the existing layer one, the cost will be go high, very very high, and none of them will adopt it. So Louis
mm.
Vuitton can adopt it, but Aldiram cannot adopt it.
But yeah, but small sale. Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Mm,
but no, but our research says something else. There is a report of
mm,
the FICCI which they published last year in June 2020 June, that
mm.
the FMCG packed food product counterfeit market size in India is 1.42 lakh crore.
Okay.
Okay, and in five industry counterfeit market size is 2.6 lakh crore.
Mm,
Okay, and the third, then we did it in detail. Then the worldwide counterfeit market size is $4.5 trillion.
mm,
So look at the number. Number is more than the Indian economy.
mm, mm,
Let's figure our point. Okay, let's do the research, build something which can be cost effective and can be applicable to any product. Either it's five
mm,
rupees worth or it's a $10,000 worth.
mm, mm.
Pharma again, multi-billion
Small.
dollar
Yeah.
company.
Yes.
Example is the paracetamol and the dolo itself.
Mm, mm,
So this triggered us to build a layer one protocol which can be cost effective.
Yeah.
which can be utilized by the different organization,
Business segments and
irrespective,
organizations.
yeah, irrespective of whatever they are manufacturing. Either
Mm.
they are selling it to like
So, so can we consider jumbo chain specifically for corporates or the
no,
enterprise
no, no, no,
companies,
no,
or is it? Yeah.
no,
Mm.
no, you don't need to. It's a public blockchain. You can come
Mm.
and build anything. But our
Okay.
thought process was to make it enterprise use case,
So
basically.
since it's a sector agnostic, obviously that is a common narrative or generic narrative of any L1 or L2 layers so far. But when it comes to adopting these protocols on real use cases, example as you mentioned, maybe a pharma use case, a telecom use case, or even a banking use case. Or today's topic is all about property ownerships, even in real
Mm,
estate use case, the data is massive. We have to handle a lot of information right from the transactions, the banking, the paperwork, the diligence of the property, the valuations, the micro market data. It's just one example of one segment. But the same thing or similar thing can also applicable when you pick up a use case of supply chain, right? Every
right.
stage there are different stakeholders handling different types of data. So but when it comes to, again, I do have a very generic questions um, on these segments. Understand that how L1 layers works, but we all knew how NFTs has been played a role from last quite couple of years, and still things are going good. Not in India, but how do you see yourself that we can adopt up layers like you or L1 layers like you um, on NFT segment, be it maybe a land records of a particular state in India. There are a couple of states that are picked in recently. Even non-government entities can also fix in. How do we see that merge between the typical NFTs and the real use cases through Zombochain?
Okay. Let me talk about
Because there
first.
is a definitely there is a gap,
Yeah.
there is
So
a
you
disconnection between these two segments.
no, no, there is no disconnection, and it will be over a period of time. It will be like the people will understand what is happening out there. Let me
Mm,
start this with the our fourth innovation, basically.
mm,
So our fourth innovation is that the native token of Jumbo Chain, which we are
mm,
building, is the
mm,
fractional NFT of our
mm,
assets.
mm,
The our asset is the patents which we have applied across.
mm,
Now look at the perspective, look at the narrative.
mm,
The innovation has been done by us, and we are tokenizing it so that we can give the value to our token holders as well.
mm.
And the same token will be utilized to pay the transaction fees and staking as well.
Fees. Mm,
That is the internal use case of the blockchain, basically. Okay, now let me come to the another point where you are talking about the NFT,
yes.
or yeah, the ownership, basically.
Mm, mm,
So NFT is NFT is gives, like, it gives the the ownership. Okay, like I
mm,
have spoken about the fractional NFT. So
mm,
it gives the value to your fraction. Okay, if we have, I have a, I have an asset which is like worth $20 million, and I created 20 million NFT again on fractional
mm,
against that asset,
mm,
and created one NFT. So one
mm.
fraction is equal to one NFT, fractional
One
NFT.
NFT.
Yeah,
Correct.
token. So it create value whenever the value of that property or whatever is being staked or converted into the
Mm.
NFT. Value of that is improves or
Increases.
appreciate. The
Mm,
token value should also be appreciated.
mm, mm,
Okay, so this is how the NFT in that direction, and that is one of the reason that we have built that in that way. Means we as a jumbo chain built our native token in the form of the fractional NFT, and utility made
mm,
it more utilized in the system, so that
mm,
other people can also come build on the jumbo blockchain and enjoy the freedom of having non-fungible tokens, basically where the price appreciation can happen in two ways. One,
Yeah.
can the value of the fraction can increase because of the high utility. Another side, when that value of asset increase, the automatically value appreciate for the fractions.
With this point, I think you may heard about notification was released maybe a year or two from Ministry of Finance that any NFTs or VDS, which is basically a virtual digital assets,
Mm.
under subclass, I think subclass 47A Act, that contains the ownership of any tangible asset, be it property, be it IP rights, be it even gold, any tangible assets, will not fall under the current crypto tax. Uh, uh, Especially again, they were clearly mentioned it's NFTs, right? How do we
Yes.
see that real use case through Jumbo Chain? Is Jumbo Chain working on anything on that aspect? Because eventually the adoption in India is always picks up when governments take lead on it, right? I think
Okay.
this was around like June 2022. It's been almost like 1.5 year, but hardly seen a use cases on that where we've been discussing a lot of things on NFT counterfeits or even a fraud that's been still happening. In the name of NFTs, but that was not the purpose of NFTs, right? That was not the purpose of blockchain also, but still things are going on. So what kind of measures that you've taken while building Jumbo Chain to prevent these uncommon or common frauds or counterfeits of NFTs in any use case, be it property ownerships, be it any real use case, irrespective of NFTs. Is there any specific measures that really impresses even government? Yes, this is a right way to
So, okay, so Jumbo Chain is like, it has done its own innovation. It has made it like more secure system, the
do?
validation process itself. See,
Mm,
end of the day, whenever you build an NFT,
mm,
there is a security protocol, basically. The
mm,
transaction or the use or the smart contract which is deployed to mint that NFT has to be
mm,
verified properly. Right.
mm,
So for that we have already worked in that direction to have a new consensus protocol, which is more
mm,
randomized, highly secure, basically.
mm, mm.
Okay. Let me talk about the second question was your
So
related
basically,
to.
how to prevent these frauds or counterfeits of NFTs?
Yes.
If
Yeah.
if
So that is
if
one of the
as a
way.
as a mm, mm,
That is one of the way that at the chain itself you need to
mm,
build a protocol which is more secure, basically, for the for the verification or
mm,
implementation of authenticity of the asset
mm,
before it tokenized, basically. So the
okay.
tokenization, I have already given an example, but because the
Mm,
base of the Jumbo blockchain is on that, is on NFT.
mm,
So native token
mm,
itself is an NFT. So we need to work in that way. That is one thing. Second is the legal framework, which we can look at
yes.
the legal measures which we can take the how to prosecute those who are doing the fraud. The identification of the fraud is much more important aspect. Revalidation of NFT. And the
Mm,
third most important aspect is who is the, see, end of the day, fraud is happening with the people who is buying it,
mm,
right?
mm, mm,
They have to have that awareness, means how to check, how to validate, what are the base which has to be checked, basically.
mm,
These are the measures, basically, which has to be considered. So one
yeah.
comes from the blockchain, second comes from the legal perspective, and one of the third which comes from the public awareness or the end consumer awareness, that whatever
Mm,
they are buying is authenticated by the set of auditors or not, or
mm.
how to identify that it has been like audited properly, and it is like the perfect NFT to be to brought in.
Yeah. So again, that's where I thought of having a quick question. how can we see jumbo chain working out towards educating and creating awareness on promoting widespread adoption of NFTs on the real use cases.
Okay. So
Is
there
there
are
any
multi.
is there any roadmap actions from you that okay, there is a library where we can find out let's say measures before creating NFTs on real use cases, or a learning guidance, some sort, because these are the things that we tend to miss out in these layers, right? When we talk about, everyone talks about a layer one, layer two, who have hundreds of blockchain protocols that existed, but the adoption, that was totally missing out, except for the Gen Z, where they may pick up quickly, they can learn about it, they can understand how these technology works, or how this adoption works. But people, like old people like us, including myself, is very difficult to understand these terminologies when we pick up choosing out the right protocol for the right use case. Example, you said one, um, Haldirams, or maybe a small business in India, maybe Hyderabad or Bangalore. They really don't know how to use the technology, but they've been facing the problem of showcasing the transparency to the customers. That's one of biggest problem while they're earning their trust. Correct. So,
Mhm.
but no change were showcasing that this is how you do it, and these are the guidances, these are the steps you take care of that while creating any use case, and maybe a segment wise. So is there any roadmap action from Jumbo Chain on that?
Okay, so we'll talk about it in a very different way. Let's talk about
Mm,
point by point. The point number
mm,
one is the blockchain as technology.
yes.
See, if in India, if
One.
you'll talk about normal people, the
Mm,
blockchain as technology, even certain CTOs of the organizations, they don't
mm,
know in detail. If
mm,
you'll say crypto,
mm,
they will immediately,
okay.
okay, so you are here
Mm,
to talk about crypto. No, I'm not talking here. No, I'm not here to talk about crypto. Crypto is like
mm,
very small part, even though it has a very big market size. But I'm
mm,
talking about the robust technology behind that crypto, basically.
mm,
So that is most important aspect here is how
mm,
to explain blockchain as technology to a layman.
mm. Yes.
That is the most important aspect.
Mm, mm,
So I was trying to figure it out for a long, long time how
mm,
to do it. And around 6 months back, I figured it out. Let me give you
mm,
a simple example. So a person who is not educated, even he can understand,
mm,
who understand the how to use a smartphone. So that
mm,
lot more people are like using nowadays. Either they are educated or non-educated.
mm,
Okay, so simple. You have a smartphone. You take a picture. You keep it
mm,
in your phone, and you lose your phone. You will lose your picture,
mm.
right?
Yes.
It is not distributed anywhere. It is in the centralized system.
Center. Yeah.
You
Correct.
lost your phone. You lost your phone. You lost your picture as well.
Mm, mm,
Everybody knows WhatsApp, right? And
mm,
everybody knows the concept of the groups. And there are
mm,
two kinds of group basically. One where you it is for the public use cases, public use basically. So you join some group where you have similar interests. You do not know
mm,
people.
mm,
Even in that case also, if that there is some picture or some information which is relevant to them, you
mm,
share in that group,
mm, mm,
right?
mm,
Or for your personal stuff, you have your family groups or your very private network, you share there. If you lose your
mm,
phone, you can
mm.
recover that picture from there. In the
Okay.
same way, blockchain as technology works. The
Mm,
only differentiation is data is stored at the public validators
mm,
through a
mm,
smart contract. And how does it work? Is the smart contract is a form to execute. That is a like a kind of a legal document within the
mm,
framework. We can say when it
mm,
executes, go to the validators. Validator audit it. The
mm.
information which is coming in is the correct information or not. This is
Not.
how
Mm,
the blockchain as technology works, and it makes sure that the data which is coming to your going out or coming in is the validated and the actual data, immutable data, basically.
mm, mm.
So this is how we talk about the blockchain as technology.
But when it
Now,
comes to obviously the awareness for the last milestone, that's what I've been
yes, yes.
trying
So,
to.
so
Yeah.
you need to define it in a very simple way so that anybody else
Mm,
can understand.
mm,
The
mm,
second is, you know, we do like I am doing webinars. I do a lot. Means every
mm.
fortnightly we do the webinars, and
Okay.
where we talk about so okay, not only blockchain as technology, but all the stuff around it. Either it's
Mm,
NFT or it's cryptocurrency, or it's the use case for the different industries, how it create value for the entire ecosystem. We talk about that. So that is
mm,
another way. Third, Gen X. So okay, now let's come to the Gen X at the hour. So the kind of example I have given out here for the picture, you can go and explain that to any XYZ, he will
and-
understand.
mm.
Even a person who is a little bit educated and around 60,
Can
65, 70
easily
years
understand.
old
Mm,
can easily
mm.
understand. And CXO can
Yep.
easily understand. And
So
the
when it
same,
comes to now jumbo chain, again, just to get audience attention here. So the mainnet was released, and the
no,
testnet
no,
is also
testnet is released. Mainnet
testnet
will
in
be released in January.
January.
Last week
Mm.
of the January, we will give the date.
Okay,
So
okay.
because we want to showcase the phase wise innovation
In, mm, mm.
to the industry, to the people.
Okay, okay. So the narration will be for jumbo chain on the each use case wise. Example,
No,
today
it
we
will not
started
be.
talk
It will
about.
not be. It will not be use case wise. It will be
Mm,
scalable solution
mm.
in blockchain technology,
Okay.
where you can come and build anything, and you can do
Mm,
your transaction without latency.
okay.
So
So
you come build any
So
use
how
case.
about gas fee comparatively with the existing product?
Gas fees is zero for us. Only transaction fee will be paid with a
Okay.
certain kind of byte of data. It will be like
Mm.
6 paisa.
6 paisa.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Mm.
zero gas
That's
fees.
great. Mm.
Zero gas fees, 6 paisa, because we built our transaction and the
Mm.
data transfer protocol in such a way
Mm.
that it becomes more cost efficient in comparison to any other blockchain which exists in the world.
Mm. Got it. So sounds great. I think we've been it's been already 30 minutes. We wanted to go with a quick conclusion. So in order to test this now, any startup or even a small scale business or even a corporate can try out Jumbo Chain
Yeah.
on mainnet. And official web links will be mentioned in comments, and obviously, as Sachin mentioned, he's happy to share as much as information. He's leading the entire awareness, the genuine and honest awareness on the business use case segments on blockchain, rather than just talking about only blockchain. As a founder, he's been leading that, and we're happy to bring him today on our session. And looking forward to listen and learn more about Sachin and their roadmap, and primarily the real use cases, that we've anticipated to hear as a success stories on Jumbo Chain for next couple of months or maybe quarters. Sachin, please share it with us. Any use case, as an example, you mentioned about a small business use case. That itself is also a successful use case if it really implemented in real use case and people started adopting it, right? They really don't need to bother about the technology. Still, they know the ultimate goal of trust and transparency, is it solved or not? So be it property related, be it agriculture. India is all about agriculture segment, be it pharma, be it textile, right? Or SME segments. So yeah, Sachin, you can conclude that by giving a couple of thoughts from your end.
So okay, for example, we have done a POC basically where
Mm,
the organization is distributing certain devices to the rural area of India.
mm, Oh,
and
okay.
they are not able to monitor that entire data. So we have built a
Mm,
solution around it with IoT devices by using
mm,
blockchain technology, so that
mm,
data can be immutable, because that data is going to be the going to the government agencies.
mm, mm,
So we built that solution around it. POC is done. We have showcased how the data will be triggered from there, will come to the blockchain, and then you can showcase it to the world. Basically, that it is
okay.
the factual used for that particular device in the rural area.
Mm. Oh, great. That's great.
No, nobody can put a
So
question mark on that.
great. I mean, we're happy to share it with our audience. Maybe we can make a quick article about it. And looking forward to see a couple of more use cases from Jumbo Chain. And good luck for your mainnet release. And
Thank you.
invite our audience for your launch. And thank you very much, Sachin. Thanks for joining. Let's connect back in next session. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.